Ooh. Interesting. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. One times motorcycle battery and sulfuric acid. Excellent. Owner's manual. I had to order a new battery, that other one was useless, so we'll get this filled up, get it charged, then we can get it on the Virago and test out all the wiring and go from there. So the battery came with the bike. The newer one, the guy said never been used, was no good, it wouldn't take a charge. So I've gone out and brought a new one because I don't want to faff about with the battery, because at the end of the day, if the battery goes on an electric start, you're stuffed. So I've got the 2 lots of acid, which we've got to fill it up with. So I've removed the little cap off the drain here. I'm going to pull all the plugs out, cut the tops off of here, and then fill this up with the sulfuric acid that it comes with. Hence I've got some gloves, so I've got to be a bit careful. So let me just pull the plugs out of here. I'll go and get some pliers. So I've got a little pot here to put them in. You can smell that's distilled acid. That's why I'm doing it outside. Right, let's get the gloves on in a minute. Probably not the best place to do this. I think I'm going to move on to a flat surface. Hang on. Right, it says to cut off the tip of this. Whoa. Okay. Fucking hell, that is strong acid. How the hell do you pour this into the funnel? I'm a bit worried about getting that in my hand because it's just gone frothing and buzzing on the floor. This isn't good stuff, is it? No. This is ridiculous. Hang on. Let me read up on this. I'm going to say squeeze it, but I think it's probably going to go everywhere. It does seem to be going in. It does seem to be working. Lost one there. Yeah, that one's gone down a bit. Okay, that's now at the top. Right. It does seem to be pretty much full up now. Right, we're going to get some tissue to wipe this off. So this is new to me. I've never... Let's see if it's got any charge in it then. It's got 12.5 volts in it. So it's charged. How does that work? I don't know. Right, I'll put this in the garage overnight and we'll connect that on the bike in the morning and check the electric. Now here's a mod that young Mark would have been proud of. As you know, the battery cable here had these broken few strands of wire, and I took this off to have a look at it. I'm going to replace it. What I did is I took the old throttle cable and it had an extra bit of tubing around the outside. I'm assuming to stop it rubbing, and what I thought was I could use that to insulate the battery cable by putting it on like so. And I'll just put a bit of tape on there, then I'll put the other bit over the other way. It should, in theory, hold it on enough to stop any sparking. At the end of the day, that's all we want, and then I can replace it when we're a bit nearer down the track. But I'm just keen to get the battery on this morning and see what we've got power wise. So let's just quickly put a piece of tape around there. Right, that's got that end on. So that's called thinking outside the box, literally. I'll do that a lot, to be honest. Right, pull that around there. Right, so that's got the back part done. Then I've made this final piece a bit longer. Then we can put that over the top of there like so. Clamp it round. There's the gap, about equal, so about on there. And then in theory that can't quite make contact with anything and spark out. So let me just quickly wrap that. Right, so there she is, all wrapped up. So all we've got to do now is slide the battery in there and connect it. One thing I have just done off camera is I've disconnected the fuel pump. The fuel pump's dry at the moment. Now, as soon as you turn this bike on, from what I read, it starts priming with the fuel pump until it's pumped enough fuel rounds or in or whatever, and then it shuts off. Well, because I've got no fuel, it just means that the fuel pump will be running all the time. So by disconnecting it, I'm hoping we can just check out some of the electrics and the pump won't be going, but we'll hear that as soon as we spark up and get the thing running. Ah, the other thing I haven't done is I've got the wires hanging down over here for the kill switch. I need to quickly connect those. I might just run them round into the headlamp just for connections, and that'll do the lights and the run switch, I think. Okay, let me just do a bit more prep. It's a battery holder young Mark would be very excited about. Right, there's no turning back now. Let's get the key and turn on. Let's see what happens. I don't even know which one's the ignition key. I'm assuming it's the fuel cap key. Is it that one? Right, you ready? See any lights come on? Oh, nothing. Nothing came on. Is that the right key? Well, we've got indicators on the left side. Not on the right. And they're not turning off, look, they're in the middle. Right, that's sort of, no. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I think the indicator switch is knackered. Right, we're on again. It doesn't seem to turn off on the right side, look. Right, what else we got we can try? So we found that. We've got no neutral light on. I'm assuming I'm in neutral. Just the back wheel spin. No, we're in gear. Okay. So... oh, I'll have to sort that out. Okay, so we're in gear. That's why that one's not working. Let's try a brake light. So we've got a back brake light. Now, can I move that one? Yep, that's the foot brake. So that's working. Right. Let's see if headlights will work. Have we got any lights? Don't seem to have any headlights, if that is headlights. Yeah, it's got to be. No headlights coming on, so why have we got no headlights? Oh, because we haven't got a bulb connected, but we've got no side light either, unless the bulb's blown. Right, let's get the headlight connected.